Before I dive into the heart of this episode, I do have one very uncomfortable question for all of you. Did you ever ask yourself why those coaches and gurus on their videos always showing their success, trophy, wives, cash, cars, travels? And above all, is it that what they're portraying actually true? Well, answer is most likely not. Why is that? Because you can't check, you can't quantify, you can't clarify, you can't rectify. But what you can do is to stay with me till the end of this video, in which I will share with you the modus operandi of the coaching gurus, financial wizards, NLP master coaches, and in reality, how you make them, yes, you, rich, while you are clutching a 10-page PDF master plan. Correct, 10-page PDF plan from your guru and coach, who will not, I repeat, this not take responsibility for your success or failure. I will elaborate this later. Before we continue, I want to take a step back. Why? Because this podcast isn't about opinion. This comes from my career in military and diplomatic security intelligence, operations, and more than 1,800 consecutive combat days in war. Yes, correct, in war. I was 18 years old, and I believe that I will end war for my country in few days. Why not? Why did I believe this? Well, I believe to Rambo movies. That being said, when I started my career in military and diplomacy, I was trained to understand how something is done, not just who did it. So this podcast is not about shaming a particular person. I'll leave this to other people. I was never trained to point finger, that person done this. But I was trained to understand how something is done. What is the modus operandi? It's beautifully said. How something is done. Because I won't equip you and arm you with the knowledge, with a list of check and balances. So nobody take money from you, your hard-earned money. That's my job. Not just exposing the truth, but show you how something is done. So when I was in military and diplomacy, we studied weapons, strategy tools, tactics, and above all, psychology deception, information risk management, and list goes on. That's exactly what I'm doing here today. Applying the same investigative mindset to an industry that's selling more hype than help. And as I say, instead of me pointing finger who did what, I want you to learn how is done. After all, I was always being told from my early age, prevention is better than cure. You agree? Before we continue, I like to welcome you all to Life the Battlefield, where we don't just expose scams, we decode deception. For those who don't know me, my name is Mario Bekesh. I'm a Guinness World Record holder for the longest audio broadcast, and I survived, as I mentioned, 1,800 consecutive combat days in war. My background spans in military, diplomatic, security operations, decades of high-level investigations, interrogations, and as well, I'm the best-selling author, and everything I share with you comes from my experience, not a theory. Facts, not opinions. And yet, I've never seen a battlefield quite like this one. A digital war zone of coaches, gurus, and of course, let's not forget NLP masters, all waving their magic wand. For a fee, of course. Why not? Because they have the magic wand. They will sell you all solutions for all your problems you don't even know. Just for the small fee. Well, that small fee, it's always the hook, and then comes a bigger fee and a higher fee and a more fee. And then eventually you end up with a 10-page PDF plan, as I do have in my hands. I'll come to this a little bit later. That's what they promote. For the fee, they're gonna solve all your problems. Doesn't matter what type of the coach, lifestyle, business coach, feng shui coach, to the NLP master coaches. In 3 days, they're gonna teach you everything. Well, It's a fantasy. And I'll talk about this fantasy package right now. I decide to do my own research. Why not? Because I try to share with you what I'm learning in industry. So I apply my investigative background to do research, academic to write this podcast. So in last few weeks, I went on the quest, searching for that one person. That one person who could make me rich, successful, happy, incredibly good looking. Well, let's go put this on the side. And of course, to the most famous entrepreneur. So I want to be the most famous entrepreneur on the planet. Question is, does this guru and coach exist to make me happy, successful, rich, good looking, most successful entrepreneur? Does this person exist? Well, apparently they exist. In fact, I was flabbergasted. They are everywhere. At least if you believe social media feed. They are NLP, master coaches, 7-figure business owners. And I ran into a coach who was offering me 8-figure success. And I can become one for just $10 fee. I like to now pretend that I can hear the crickets. Guys, I was offered $10 fee so he can sell me 8-figure business success. No 5-figure, no 6, no 7, 8-figure. I must say that I was surprised how they treat me with looking at me like I'm a moron, like I'm an idiot, right? Literally. He was talking to me on Zoom, of course, and he told me for $10 I can get a blueprint, of course, PDF 10-page. Next one, I ran into the motivational superhuman. He sleeps only 4 hours a night, and his routine, it's amazing. He wakes up at 4 a.m. and somehow he conquered the wall before the breakfast. However, he says, gym no, shower no, no coffee, simply slaying the wall. Okay, I said this sounds very interesting, right? There's another coach who, on top of this, 8-figure and a 4-hour sleep only, he told me that he can make my 24-hour day into a 36-hour day. Did you hear me? 24-hour into 36-hour. Of course, there is a fee. But he asked me $5,000. And I was surprised how even NASA didn't hire that alpha male who magically turns 24-hour day into a 36-hour day. Lucky for me, I went to school. In school you learn how to read, write, and count. I can count. I know how many hours are in a day. I know when the sun comes up and why it gets dark. So no thanks, I'll stick with what I learned in primary school. Then comes this phenomena, education is optional. That's a myth. Another coach for the modest $999 offered to reveal why education doesn't matter, business, health, or life. But his PDF plain does matter. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, guys. Education comes in many forms. But this NLP coach doesn't know my history. And of course, he didn't even ask at all. After all, I was the guy who didn't like the school. I was more in police station than in a class. You need to be aware when the person selling you that advice. Doesn't matter what type of advice you are seeking, or what type of coach you wanted to get, or the guru you want in your life, or the NLP master coach, 3 days Zen qualifications. If the person has zero qualifications, zero professional background, no credibility and no authority, and resume Tina, then die Instagram bio, well, you might want to ask your questions. Except in this guru land, you are told not to ask. Why? Because when they start this selling process, guys, they will give you everything and anything, as I said at the beginning. I'm successful, I'm rich, I have a beautiful wife, I'm traveling a lot and everything else. In my mind, that doesn't work. because it's illustration. It's a depicting something I can't touch it. It's not tangible for me. It's your life. I can't even see it. But all these images and everything else can be done or redone from rented cars, rented boats, rented airplanes. I've done few podcasts to explain how it's done something. So I wanted credentials. I wanted to know what is your authority to you can coach me, because after all, you're asking for the money. It doesn't matter, $8, $10, $999. And when I was doing that research, I asked for the PDF, which they are literally 10 pages. I'll not show you the front pages, but I just want you to see how black it is and how it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So they will offer you everything except credentials. And when you ask for credentials, well, they will tell you that this is outdated concept. Instead, they give you, as I say, coaching material that's more coloring book than textbook. Illustrated, not written. After all, ask yourself this question. If your coach or guru says you don't need education, meaning you don't need to know how to read and count, but they will offer you their book with all secrets for success, ask them who wrote their book. Or if education is not important, how you will know how to apply that book in daily life. I've been on those seminars. I wanted to hear it. I wanted to listen. And guys, it's always same story. 10-page PDF formula written for the 5 years old with all these fancy questions. How would you like to achieve this in your life? What do your heart desire? Would you like to fly on the moon? Would you like to see the unicorn? Do you want all this money and riches? Look at me, guys. It's a sales process. That's all what it is. But I always go deeper. So I ask those questions. What are your qualifications? What are they? Show me, demonstrate me. What schools did you finish? If you give me your magical PDF plan, is this gonna work for me, for the John in Canberra, for the Ivan in Russia? Yes, he says yes. I said like, okay, so I'm gonna sleep 4 hours and you're gonna show me how to turn 24 hours into 36 hours. Yes, I said like, would you be accountable and responsible if I fail? No, why? Because you didn't follow the PDF plan. Straight away, guys, that's a red flag. When somebody offers you same material, everybody else, without personalizing, without tailoring for your needs, for your life, for your desires, for your business plans, run away, because it's a sales process. So I spend time analyzing this phenomenon. Every guru has the same formula. So I want to share with you the 3 steps, what they do. First one, it's called identify your need. You know what that is? Basically, that's what it's, you have a need. Me and everybody else. We all want something in our life. If you believe that I never fell victim of my own stupidity, yes, I was. I wanted once upon a time some things, and I was looking for the solution for that magic wand. I was very naive. So I will start Googling, I need a success in business. Somehow, somewhere. Social media hammers you with all those coaches because you have a need. They identify your need and they give you and push you all these coaches who pay the advertising online, and they're gonna be into your eyes and ears 24/7. Those coaches will wave magic wand with their beautiful presentations, beautiful websites, beautiful videos. And in reality, they're all running same thing over and over again. You know why? Because they've been together on some seminars where some guy sold them that dream that they can be great coaches. Just follow his steps. Show them that you can fulfill their needs. Show them that you have a magic wand. But there's come the step 3, and that is the price tag. Yeah, it's not $10. So when I spoke with this guy who offered me 8-figure solution and success, that $10 slowly rise on almost $7,000. $7,000 because that's how they get you. Day programs often promise complete life transformation in 3 or 4 days. Of course, if you're willing to invest heavily via Zoom or email. And of course, as a VIP package, you get email communications. And yes, their life-changing knowledge almost always comes in pre-made PDF template that's been recycled more times than last year Christmas fruitcake. On that note, I want to mention to this guy called Ashton Hall. The guy made millions, lying all his fans. This is just a recent. Ashton Hall is a one guy who you can see him on videos is running, with a six-pack next to the van and dogs are chasing him. He made it such a great videos. But that's all it was. People asking for money back. People are not being contacted by him whatsoever. But he was offering the levels, diamond, personal touch, premium touch, just to name a few. Millions has been lost. His fan base done exactly that. They got PDF plans, sometimes emails, and lies about his success, but not your success, because they fueled and financed his lifestyle. But why we are buying from them? As I said, there's an image, guys. It's image. Every coach has the image. Like I can see now the coaches, they're barefoot, sitting on a beach with a laptop full of ideas, blueprint plans, your credit card details, your information. And if they lost the laptop, well, it's your fault because your details on my laptop. It's not my fault I lost the laptop with your details. I'm just here on a Bali on the beach. I try to get into that Zen mode where I'm gonna create a master plan on maybe 12 pages of PDF. That's what it is. Your data, it sits with somebody else's laptop on some godforsaken island, and if it's stolen, your data, it will be missed. Now, as I say, every coach and guru or financial wizard or maybe NLP master coach create their own image. So for all of you who are considering to become one of those coaches and gurus, I want to share with you an official guide to become the guru. Okay, so let me portray this to you. What my research shows. If you ever decide to become the guru or coach, number one, forget qualification. They'll just slow you down. If somebody asks you for any type of qualifications, you just tell them, I'm successful. Show them your blueprint, show them your flashy website, your Hollywood smile, and nobody will question. Just promise enough and portray yourself, your image, how successful, how rich, and untouchable you are. Number two, get a flashy website. All gurus have the amazing websites, dripping with offers no sane person would refuse. So not just a one website, you need to have the couple websites, because when you're posting on TikTok, it's a one website. When you go posting on Instagram, it's a different website. It's always new website, but you are the same with the biggest Hollywood smile and a video hook. Usually all these successful gurus, and as I want to teach you something what not to do, all these successful coaches and gurus portraying that type of nomad lifestyle, or women in this instance, I say women coaches, they're impeccable. They're always dressed impeccable. Again, Hollywood smile, veneer, heat, everything is there. It's all perfect. And all they're standing on stage, everybody clapping them, it's ovations. That's your video hook should look like, that everybody bows to you. Now, when it comes to recording the video, guys, if you don't have your office, hire the office. Don't sit behind some empty desk or, on a beach with your barefoot in your Speedos, because it doesn't look professional. So, guys, if you're becoming guru or you buy from those gurus, stop it. Stop doing this. You don't working hard to buy something what is cheap, because at the end of the day, if somebody sells you, master plan on 10 pages, it doesn't work. Another thing what I noticed, and if you're becoming the guru, what most of coaches, how do they measure success? Well, websites portray they have at least 250,000 students. The amphitheaters, the entertainment centers, everything was full to the brim. Chock-a-block. Everybody's just waving and clapping and ovations to them. You can do this, guys, as well. There's a many courses where you can portray yourself as a successful. They're gonna teach you how to walk in a room with the 10 people, looks like it's like 1,000 people. And then, of course, you know, your credentials are not necessary because you have the what? You have the reviews. Reviews of the Mike, Joanne, Christine, no name, no full name, just a name, not surname, just a name. And 250,000. Make sure that you say that it's at least 500,000. As at the beginning, show off the wealth. Post constant images of private jets, luxury resorts, and exotic destinations. Doesn't matter if it's borrowed or staged. Perception is reality. After all, coaches sell idea, not solutions. But ask yourself, if your coach is always on an airplane, traveling across the globe and everything else, when gonna have the time to work with you? What, from the laptop, from the mobile phone, on the go? Guys, if you're working with somebody, it's your client. You cannot be always 24/7 face-to-face. I know this. When I started my business, I started literally with nothing, but I wanted to be in face to my clients. You don't need, but the client needs to know that you are present somewhere. You know what I mean? I want to explain to you something when you are showing off all these riches and when you're famous and rich. Very important thing is to understand, guys, and I'll make a special video about this. What not to do when you're showing how rich, successful you are, and how much money you have, and what cars you drive, where you live, or you pretending that you're living in some McMansion. Well, you're not attracting just the eyes of those who want to be like you, but you're attracting the eyes who want to take it from you. I live here. Just think about kidnapping and ransom, extortion, blackmailing, theft, breaking and enter. List goes on. Don't. Normal coach will not show off where he travels with family, where he spends the holiday, where he lives or where she lives, where's the office. You don't need to share those things. Another thing is what its biggest mistakes for the most of coaches is this, or maybe you don't understand, that one coach can apply the same formula to everyone, regardless of education, culture, profession, or language, and guaranteed the same success. The truth, real change is personal. It takes tailored strategies, hard work, and time. What gurus sell is hype in bulk, delivered through PDFs, paging, Instagram posts, and motivational monologues, with your credit card number attached. What I try to say to you is something very simple, guys. When you go on all these big events, NLP coaches, they don't ask you what level of education you have. Mostly those events I went, nobody asked me what my education is, what my knowledge of English it is, what my understanding of the process it is, nothing. Yet they will apply the same PDF format to, let's go say, 1,000 people from all different walks of life. You cannot do this. We all have the different desires, dreams. We all have a different understanding of language, because after all, most of us in Australia here are the migrants. Most of us maybe have the only high school, I have a university and more, but the thing is, do you ask yourself when you walk in that room that you're going to get a PDF format covering everybody? By default, it will not work. So, here is my advice, guys. Before you start spending money on your coaches and gurus, and I'll share with you how they hook you up, what they're selling you, how they're selling you, how they're upselling you from someone who studied deception at the highest levels. Before you hand over your money to self-proclaimed guru, do your homework. Ask for proof. Ask for credentials. Ask for real results. And remember, if someone is promising to change your life in 36 hours, They are probably about to change their bank balance instead with your credit card. Guys, ask if your coach and guru cannot answer those questions. Instead of this, give you this BS PDF format, master plans, and Zoom connections, you will never succeed in life. The real changes starts with you when you decide. I'm Mario Bekish. This is the podcast Life the Battlefield. Stay alert, stay curious, and never, never hand over your common sense for PDF. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment. And feel free to let me know how many of you are very become successful text to NLP master coaches and your gurus, or maybe you've been scammed by the same. Feel free to leave in the comment section below how they did it, how they scam you, or how you succeeded. Thank you for watching.